defense blocks and developing new strategies. Ukraine's clever plans are catching the Russians by surprise. Ozilo has confirmed that the Russian army has lost 1,220 military personnel on the front line in the past day. The Russians continue to lose to the Ukrainian army by making wrong decisions on the front line. The strength of the Russian army is weakening day by day, losing over 1,000 soldiers every day. We will continue to report daily on the losses of military personnel and equipment of the Russian army. Since the Russian invasion in February 2022, fighting has been relentless on many fronts. Sometimes the fighting has been confined to a narrow area, sometimes the front line has grown considerably. But no matter what, the ultimate goal for both sides of the war remains the same: Crimea. In 2014, Russia unjustly annexed Crimea and will do everything in its power not to lose this most important piece of territory in the Black Sea region. At the same time, the Ukrainian military will not give up Crimea, the most important territory for Ukraine. Ukrainian President Zelensky has often said, "The war started in Crimea and will end in Crimea." Zelensky makes it clear that Ukraine's ultimate goal in this war is to expel Russian troops from its territory and retake Crimea. After annexing Crimea, President Putin built a bridge over the Kerch Strait to connect the peninsula to Russia. Until today, Ukraine has attacked this bridge several times in an attempt to cut the peninsula's land connection with Russia. According to the latest reports from the region, the Russian army has started building additional fortifications around the Crimean bridge. According to local sources, a crane floating in the strait is also supporting these works. It is also reported that the number of Russian barges protecting the bridge piers from unmanned naval vessels has increased. The Russian army, which had already formed a defense line from these barges in June, added 21 more barges and increased its defense to 2 lines. It is also reported that port construction is underway near the bridge. The fact that Russia has built new fortifications around the bridge and increased the number of barges raises the question of whether they have received intelligence about a possible Ukrainian attack. So why do you think Russia is building new ports and fortifications on the Kerch Bridge? What could be the real reason behind strengthening their defenses against unmanned naval vessels? Please do not forget to leave your thoughts in the comment section. In the face of the Russian invasion, which have been going on for more than 2 years, Ukrainian forces continue to use all their resources to repel Russian attacks and launch counterattacks, inflicting casualties on the Russian army. Although Ukraine is the occupied country, this does not mean that the Ukrainian army is only playing defensive. The Ukrainian army, which has been very successful in reconnaissance of enemy soldiers and equipment since the beginning of the war, added a new achievement to the success the other day. Ukrainian forces, which use unmanned aerial vehicles very effectively in reconnaissance, located a Russian air defense system. According to the 79th Separate Air Assault Brigade, Ukrainian forces blew up a Russian TOR air defense system in the Russian-occupied Olenivka region. A Ukrainian reconnaissance drone detected a Russian TOR air defense system in the village of Olenivka. Russian forces had hidden the air defense system in an industrial building near the village to prevent its detection by Ukrainian air forces, but they failed. The TOR air defense system was destroyed by HIMARS missiles purchased by Ukraine from the United States. According to reports, it is not clear whether the HIMARS missiles hit the target or not. It is also possible that the air defense system was destroyed due to the fragments of the missile falling near the target. So, what do you think about Ukraine's successes in reconnaissance and the destroyed Russian air defense system? Please share your thoughts with us in the comment section. Ukraine, which has continued to surprise Russian troops since the beginning of the war with its superior defense, continues to effectively use the weapon systems it has received from its allies. Last day, Ukrainian forces destroyed a Russian counter-battery radar with HIMARS missiles purchased from the United States. According to a statement by Andrei Yermak from the Ukrainian presidential office, the radar station was located behind the Russian lines on the Donetsk front, but the radar system was destroyed despite its location behind the Russian line. According to information from the region, the radar system was located in a field. Ukrainian forces detected the system with unmanned aerial vehicles and used HIMARS missiles to hit the target with pinpoint accuracy and destroy it, Since the beginning of the war in 2022, the Ukrainian army has received drones from many countries, especially Turkey, and they have used and continue to use these drones very effectively both in attack and in detecting enemy units. Russian equipment detected and destroyed by drones is a huge burden on both the Russian army and the Russian economy. Russia, which claims to have the best air defense systems in the world, has yet to find a solution to Ukraine's drone attacks and reconnaissance. This radar system is not the only Russian equipment destroyed by Ukrainian forces today. A Russian Su-25 aircraft preparing to attack Ukrainian positions was also shot down by Ukrainian troops. Ukrainian forces added a new one to their attacks on Russian territory. Ukrainian military drones attacked a ferry in the port in the Kavkaz region of Russia. According to the information, the railroad ferry Conro Trader may have been damaged during this attack. According to reports from the region, one crew member was killed and 5 others were injured. In late May, Ukrainian forces struck 2 more railroad ferries in the same region with aircraft. One of the ferries was destroyed and the other ferry was repaired by Russia. It is among the information that this railroad ferry, which was hit in the last attack, may be the repaired ferry. The port in Kavkaz region is not the only place attacked by drones today. According to the incoming information, explosion sounds are coming from Kerch, Sevastopol, and Zankoy regions. In the past days, a large oil refinery in Tuapse, Russia was hit by drones and a big fire broke out. The drone attacks intensified by the Ukrainian army in recent days have left Russian forces helpless. So, what do you think about Ukraine's attacks on Russian territory using drones? In the more than 2-year-long Russia-Ukraine war, clashes continue unabated on all fronts. According to the information, a total of 155 clashes took place on the front line throughout the day. As in recent times, the regions where the Russians have organized the most attacks are Kramatorsk and Pokrovsk regions. In the Kupiansk region, the Russians launched a total of 13 attacks, but these attacks were repelled by Ukrainian forces. A total of 10 clashes were reported in the Kharkiv region. In the Siversk region, the Russians organized 8 attacks but failed. In the Liman region, the Russians attacked the Ukrainian defense lines 11 times but retreated. In the Toretsk region, Russian occupying troops launched a total of 16 attacks. In the Kramatorsk region, the total number of the Russian attacks amounted to 30. In the Krakow direction, the Russians launched a total of 17 attacks. A total of 43 Russian attacks in the Pokrovsk region were repulsed by Ukrainian troops. In the Pridniprovsky region, Russian troops launched 4 attacks but failed to reach their targets. A total of 3 clashes took place in the Orikhiv region. Ukrainian forces, on the other hand, organized 14 counterattacks. According to the information, a radar station, a control center, 5 artillery batteries, and 3 ammunition depots were destroyed in these attacks. Russian leader Vladimir Putin did not give up his offensive against Ukrainian positions and witnessed the exhaustion of the Russian army. If you want Russia to lose and Ukraine to defend its territory, you can help Ukraine by liking this video. In more than 2 years of war, Russia has lost more than 565,000 military personnel. Russia continues to lose power on Ukrainian territory day by day. Thanks to the right strategies implemented by the Ukrainian army, the Russian offensive has been greatly weakened. The Ukrainian army is strengthening its defense blocks and developing new strategies. Ukraine's clever plans are catching the Russians by surprise. Ozilo has confirmed that the Russian army has lost 1,220 military personnel on the front line in the past day. The Russians continue to lose to the Ukrainian army by making wrong decisions on the front line. The strength of the Russian